Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I was sitting down doing, this is what I'm doing for Emma's bag. I've only got about another 10 more rows of the side, but to bring it up level with the, I'll take that hook out. That's the base, the bottom, you know, and the sides go in like that. So if you look, you can see that's only got about another 10 rows of crochet to bring it up level with the other side. And then I'll probably have to sort out the handles first, put the handles on, and then I'll lay it out flat on my table and sort out, because I'm putting a lining inside because Emma wants it for a knitting. Well, you know, crochet like that, your needles just go straight through it, so it needs a lining on. So I'll put it down flat, pin the lining, what I'm going to do, and I'll either machine it on or by hand, because I'm not sure whether this might be a bit thick for my machine, and I don't want it to knock the sewing machine out of sync, which I did one time when I was sewing something thick. And it took me ages to get it when my husband was alive at the time, and he was good for fixing things like that. And he tried, but he couldn't get it right. So my son, who lives down Yorkshire, he was up that weekend. He took it away with him, and it was 3 months again before I got it back again. He brought it back, and it worked sometimes, but it still wasn't worked properly. So my husband had another go at it, and he got it working right. It's been working okay. And my husband died in 2014, so I don't want anything to go wrong with it now. That's where my son lives. It takes too long for to get anything fixed. Even when somebody smashed into my car one time, into the wing, and my son was a motor mechanic by trade. I had to wait until he was up one weekend to have a look to fix it for me. But anyway, I was sitting doing this, and I've just run out of the grey. See, there's the grey. And you know, I have just been out for a long walk. It's about an hour, and I do not have the strength to go up those stairs to get another ball of this. So I'm going to put this down while I am talking to you and get something else out. I've started knitting another one of those King Cole Splash, this one. Another one of the balls that Kate from the last Homely House sent me. She sent me two, I think there was 3 different kinds of this splash. This one, I think I've got the labels somewhere. Have a look, see what. I think I've got the 3 labels off here, what they were. One was strawberry. No, that's strawberry, because I used the 2 strawberry ones. Oh, this is called cornflower. The other one, I've done a little tiny little cardigan off. That one was Battenberg. This is cornflower, this one. And it's got blues and greens, and I think it looks like lavender as well. And little splashes of, it actually looks like it might not have as many, the stripes mightn't be as wide on this one, because the colours look more like they're closer together. But I'll not know, because that's all I've done. I'm doing the 24-inch of the cardigan I'm doing to do a PDF for. I do have a 24-inch already, just a 24-inch on a PDF. But when I started doing this one, starting from the 16, I've done an 18, a 20, and I've worked out the 22. The actual 24, the number of stitches that I had on was more similar for what I'm doing the 22 in, so I've used that 24 as a 22, because I do think it needs to be a little bit wider, because with it being this one here, this is a pink one I've just finished. With it being this rib, it does pull in. This is a 20-inch, I've done the 20-inch one, and it does stretch out. You can make it go to about a 22 because of the rib. You can see the rib on it. So I made it just that little bit longer, because I normally do this size, a 20-inch, I normally do the side measurement down to 7 inches, but I've done it to nearly 8 inches, so it'll last you know, a child that would be going into the 22 as well. So I would say it's for a 22 inch. And I was going to put this up on eBay last night, but I had that special offer where you get 80% off the selling fees, but I had up until midnight last night and I just could not manage it. I still had the neckband to do, so it was too late for that. But I was going to, I'm putting it up for £15 when I do it, because this wool is actually £3.69 a ball. That's in Wool Warehouse, and they seem to be the cheapest. Most other places you get it from, it's £3.99, but it's £3.69 in Wool Warehouse. And this is the splash one, and it's lovely. It knits up lovely. But this one here, I tried to match it. I have matched it. You can see for the front, and I did manage as best I could for the sleeves, but I didn't quite manage it. You can see up the top there, the lighter colour there with the little splash bits on, didn't start nearly near the end there. And that wasn't my fault, that was the fault of the wool, because when I came to do this little bit here, I cut a little bit of wool out so I got to the right place to start, where I started on that side. No, it wasn't, it was that side. Yes, one side slightly longer, was that side. There was a knot in the wool, so I cut the wool, I cut it off the knot and joined it at the end where I normally do. Only it didn't start in the same place it finished off. And then I got so far up the sleeve and I ran out of a ball and I had to start another one. And I could not find the exact same place where I had put off because of the stripes. There was a stripe there and like a pink stripe there and a pink stripe there and there. So I ended up with a little bit more of that white. I could have just cut it off and added a bit more pink to it, but I didn't. I just followed it for the pattern. So anyway, that one there, I'm going to hang on to it until that offer comes back on eBay again, because that's what I tend to do now. It comes up about every fortnight on a Friday night. It's usually a Friday about tea time when it pops up on my phone. And I have until midnight on the following Monday to put anything up. So I'm going to hang on to this until then, so I can get that 80% off their selling fees. Unless anybody wants to buy it off me, then they'll have to send a message through email for me. Otherwise, it's not going on my eBay shop until I get that special offer up again. So that was that one I managed to get finished. And the reason I haven't got the strength to go upstairs to get a ball of wool, I have been out for an hour walking. I had a sale on eBay for one of my knitting patterns for Linda. I've posted it, Linda, so with a bit of a look you'll either get it tomorrow or the day after. But I had no stamps left. I'm not sure whether I got the order last night or whether it came early this morning. It might have been last night, I can't remember now, but I know I had no stamps left anyway, and I would have to go to the, I usually go to have Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's is where I do a bit of my shopping, where I can walk to, and Aldi's is a little bit further on than Sainsbury's, but I can buy the stamps from Sainsbury's and get my receipt as well, because if I get stamps from my post office, it never gives me a receipt. He doesn't seem to give receipts in that shop, so I want my receipts for my expenses for when I fill in my tax returns, in case you know, HMRC ever wants to check what my expenses are, what I'm charged, what I'm putting down for. So I always just go to Sainsbury's. Usually if I'm out shopping, I'll call in and buy a few stamps while I'm out, because I have been selling a lot of patterns. So Sainsbury's is in the opposite direction to my post office, so I thought I'm not going to get my car out. It's a lovely day. It was lovely and warm. Didn't even realise how warm it was until I went outside, because I put this sweater on. I'm glad I didn't put a t-shirt underneath it, because that's what I have been doing over all the winter and the cold weather. But it did feel warmer this morning, so I just put this sweater on. And when I went out walking, I just had a thin jacket. I didn't have my winter coat on, what I have on, and I'm glad I didn't. The sweat was pouring off me by the time I got home. But it took me about an hour to walk. I had to walk from my house to Sainsbury's, which is that way. Go to Sainsbury's, and I walked back over. I could have walked straight home back the way I came from Sainsbury's, but I was going to the post box. There is a post box at the top of my estate, but they only pick the post up from 9 o'clock in the morning. That's the only time they pick it up. But the post box at the post office, the last time they pick up from that one is 4:15. They pick up a few times during the day, but that's the last time of the day. So if I have anything to post, I always go to the post office post box, unless it's after closing time for the post boxing, and then I'll just walk up to the post box up on my estate of a night time after tea usually. So I came out to Sainsbury's, I put the stamp on the letter and then walked all the way up to the post box. So went this way to Sainsbury's, all the way around like that, all the way around like that to get to the post box, and then walk back down again to my house the back way. Instead of going out the front way, I went out the front way. So I could tell, and then, you know, I check how many steps I did. I'll have a check and see. From what was already on, I think I've done 3,500 steps. That's took me an hour to do 3,500 steps. And my blood pressure went up from 55 to 104 while I was out walking. It's come straight back down again when I got in the house. It's now on 76, 77. It's slowly coming back down again. So I really need to do a lot more walking. So when I've had a good sit down, I'm just doing a little bit of this, knitting of this one, and having a cup of tea as well. As soon as, you know, I've got, feel fit enough again, I'll go upstairs and get a ball of grey wool and finish that bag up. When I finish that, I one off for Emma. She also wants me to do a bag for to put her knitting needles in. And that also will have to have a lining in as well, because it's crochet, you know, you can't put knitting needles in crochet. They just go through the holes, and even if knitting, the needles would just go through the holes. And that's what I've done with all the ones. I think I made one for myself. It's down here. That was one I made for myself, you know, quite some time ago. This has got all my old needles in. I have another one with all the other needles in. And this has just got all my, you can see all my old needles in. And that one's lined. It's just got a bit lining curtain material I lined that one with. But that one there, I just kept going round in circles all the way up, and I had an awful job to get that lining inside. I had to measure the bag, and then I managed to get it in, get it all the way down, and then I stitched across the bottom there so that the lining was attached to the bottom of the bag, so it wouldn't keep moving and coming out. So that was handy that way. I'm not sure how I'm going to do Emma's, whether I'll do it maybe it's just a square and fold it and put a zip in maybe. So I have some zips, not quite as long as the knitting needles, but I think if I put a zip in, you know, from here so far down, that'll be wide enough for it to slip the needles into. I might do that. But that was handy. That was just put a button on there and just crocheted a little chain around for to fasten it. And it's never used now because it's got all my old needles in. I have another bag now that I keep all the zings in, but I do need something. I can't seem to keep the circular ones tidy, and they all end up ravelled around each other, and if I want one out, I've got to unravel it from the mess it gets into. I'll put that back down there. So that's another little job, and I'll finish both of them before I send them off to Emma. So if you're watching, Emma, you're going to have to wait till they're both done before I send them off to you. And that's my little bit for today. So as soon as I finish my cup of tea, I think I'll be all right. I'll be able to go back upstairs. Because all my wool is upstairs, half it's still lying on the floor in the where it fell off the shelves. Because I was looking for these balls I was looking for actually, and they were right at the back. I have a lot of bags, and they're all in polythene bags, and I had to keep the dust and that off them. And it was on the bottom shelf where they were sort of, some of them were sort of leaning forward a bit, but they were okay until I started moving them about, and nearly all of them just slid off, and they're all on the floor, and some of the balls has come out the bags and that, and I just haven't tidied them up yet. It can wait. I'm not in a hurry. Probably when I want another ball of something, I'll probably go up and sort it out and sort the balls into, I was going to put them all into the same colours, keep all the same colours together, so it would be easier for me to find what I wanted, because I have so much of it. Anyway, that's just a little bit for today. And like I'm saying, I have finished this one here, and I can sort the PDF out, the last size on it that I haven't got. I can sort it out from the other sizes, and so I'm going to print it. I'll start printing the PDF and get it sorted. But I have a rosebud one as well, which I've been doing from a 22 to a, I was going to do 22 to 28 because I have all those ones in separate things, but I'm not sure whether I can add the 28 to it, because I think I've altered some things different to what I've done to the 22, the 24 and the 26. So there might just be the 3 sizes in the rosebud. I have those ones written down. I just have to get onto the software I use on my computer to make the PDFs, and I have to print it all out first and then find photographs to put on the pattern, and then I have to change those photographs into PDFs and add them to the written part, and then do all I have to do to get the pattern printed out. So I'll have another one as well, so I probably won't put it up until I sort it out. And I was going to do one, probably a small one from a 16 to about a 24 for just an ordinary plain little cardigans, because I do have a lot of instructions written down in book, like notes I've jotted down when I've been knitting ones like that, and just put those plain ones for like new knitters that just want something plain to knit. So I might sort something out like that as well, and I'll try and get them all done together and put them all up, because when I do put them up, I'm going to put them up onto eBay. I will give away the PDFs free to anybody that wants them, but if anybody wants the written pattern, they'll be up on eBay. I'll be selling them the same as the other ones for £2.50 on eBay. So that's my little bit for now. I'm going to just finish a little bit of this, finish my cup of tea, crawl upstairs and get that other ball of grey wool and finish off that bag. Should be finished today, I think, if I stick in. Because I haven't done much of it. I've done a little bit of it this afternoon, but then I had to go out the message and that. So anyway, thumbs up and subscribe. And that's my little bit for today. So I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.